My name is Vahid Taslimi, and I'm the CEO here at Zenphi. Today, I'll be talking to you. I've got two segments. Not only will I talk to you about Zenphi, but I'm planning to show a little bit of Zenphi as well. So, to get it started, before talking about Zenphi, I want to take a moment and talk about why we created Zenphi. So, first thing is businesses operate based on processes. So, no matter what you do, if you're running a business, whether it's a small business, big enterprise business with a few 100,000 employees, irrespective of the vertical you work in, your business operates based on a set of processes. You may have well documented these processes, you may not have done it, but there are processes in place. And that's where Zenphi is a novel business process platform. It allows you to quickly manage and automate everyday business processes and get insight from your operation. And the best part is that you do all of that without coding. So you really don't need developers. You don't need to be able to write code to do it. Suddenly, you've got an army of what we call makers at your disposal. The way Zenphi does it, instead of us trying to create a faster horses, as in like creating tools for developers, software developers to operate faster, we took a step back and we look at it like we gotta create a tool to enable other people who are not necessarily developers in your organization to be able to automate their own processes. At the end of the day, we believe they're the best people to do it because that's their process. They know what they want, so they don't have to communicate it and put it in a queue.
I dare say you enjoyed playing with Lego when you were growing up with all the different options that you could try and create things based on this, didn't you?
I did. It is good. It is similar. You've got the building blocks, what we call them Lego blocks. You chain them together, you actually come up with a very sophisticated system.
It is indeed very sophisticated. There's so many different options to play with, and we also have plenty of questions to get to as well. So this is great to see. Every one of these presentations has definitely been attracting a lot of attention. Let's start with Angelica, who says, what are the business processes that Zenphi can currently be integrated into, and what are the other opportunities that you're exploring?
Sure. I mean, you saw the list of processes out there. You pretty much can automate any day-to-day business process, right? And we integrate with many other systems. You understand, companies operate, they've got multiple systems. They've got Salesforce and they've got HubSpot and they've got e-signature and all those things. So Zenphi integrates with pretty much all of the major players out there. And that was the first part. Sure, we see how we go actually in terms of diversifying into the what was the second question? Sorry, second part of the question.
So the second part of the question was, what are the other opportunities that you're exploring?
We're just exploring everything that we can do based on the market feed that we get to enable even companies operate even more effectively and efficiently. So just making it available to a new breed of people in the organization, that's been our focus. And we're pushing forward with that. That's been very, very received.
Lovely. Now, I think Sandra might be someone who's very wary of big tech based on her question that she also posed towards Tui with crypto as well. And we've also got this one from her. How can I be sure about the security and privacy of my data while working with Zenphi?
Sure. So one thing we did, one of the benefits of being a young company, we built Zenphi from ground up with privacy and security requirements of the current day and age in mind. So we tick all the major security, not all the major, basically all the security requirements that you can see. That's why we got different data centers. Each company gets its own encryption key. Everything is double encrypted. We're really going through all of those, and then soon ISO certification also will be coming up very soon. So yeah, we pretty much take all the security requirements of an enterprise system. And the other thing we've made it available to everyone. So we haven't kept it for a specific tier, like for companies. The big companies, the same functionality, security functionalities are available to everyone in our platform. We're not monetizing security. That's one of the things we decided to do from day one.
Wonderful. Well, John also says, really insightful show, Mr. Vahid. Can you talk about the prerequisites that an ongoing business should have for beginning to use Zenphi across processes?
Sure. The first thing you want to do is that you have a look at around your business and see the things that are repetitive tasks, right? And you can start with those ones. You don't have a prerequisite, as in like you don't really need developers, you don't need technical knowledge. You just kind of get it started. If anything, we always suggest select a small process. Start with a small process, but take one step at a time. So what we've seen is that people normally, our customers do one small process. They see, oh, it's pretty cool, I can do all these things. Then they start doing 10,000 other things at the same time, but they've got other business priorities as well. So we say take one step at a time till you find your own, what works best for you. Because at the end of the day, your situation is unique to you.
Lovely. Thomas has also said, how has the recent COVID-19 led situation affected the company? Is Zenphi planning to diversify into new markets, products, or businesses?
Sure. I mean, the COVID has been an accelerator for pretty much everything out there in terms of digitalization. There's a ton of use cases coming through, even from Australia. You see when you're going back to office now, some companies, they require to have rapid test and take a photo, upload it, and do this thing and email it to someone. So we've had customers, automating all those processes. Again, in a matter of hours, they automated, put it on autopilot. Or in Victoria, because I'm based in Victoria, up until a while ago, if you were essential worker, you wanted to go to work, you had to request a permit. And we saw a lot of companies quickly automating those on Zenphi using e-signature and all those things, generating the document. So there's been an accelerator. You had people that started working from home. A lot of companies did not have work from home policies in place. So you had to put a policy, get them signed by your staff. That was it. Now some companies are going back to office. Now again, you got to put in some other policy, get them signed. Now all those small things, but then you don't want to send them to 300 or 400 employees and manage them manually. You want to create a system to do it, and we've seen a lot of usage of Zenphi on those ones.
Ultimately, that would just save a lot of time, and I suppose potentially even money in terms of employing extra people to go through all these invoices, for example.
Absolutely. It's all about having competitive, increasing your corporate efficiency. Right, so you can free up your people. They can focus on the more important stuff, whether it's your finance people or whether it's your legal team creating NDAs. You can free them up to focus on more important stuff. The second is that you can be competitive. So if you're a bank, you want to bring a new loan product to market, and it has to be digital. But if you're hiring developers to create the digital side of it, and it's going to take you 4 months, 6 months. Probably another bank's gonna win with that competition. And ultimately, one thing is extremely important is the employee retention and happiness and retention. So if you got employees who are doing the mundane task, the first chance they get, they're gonna move. You want to keep your employees happy. You want to keep your employees around, because that's the most important aspect of pretty much all the businesses. So by taking away all those mundane, repetitive tasks, there's heaps of studies done. You create a happier environment and you increase your employee retention.
Yeah, I think everyone wants to be doing menial tasks constantly, do they? They want to be challenged and doing something that feels like it's working towards a greater purpose. Final question for you here, coming from John Corbett. Simply says, where are you on the web? I think we can take this in two ways to find out. One, where can we find Zenphi? And also how can it be utilized? Is it just within the confines of Google, or could it potentially also work in Safari, for example?
So yeah, sure. Zenphi.com, where you can find us, or just Google Zenphi, it comes up. And no, it was initially purpose built for Google Workspace, but now if you're not a Google Workspace user, you can also use Zenphi as well.
Thank you so much, all of our esteemed guests, for presenting today, and also for joining us and hearing those wonderful presentations. That gives us a wrap for this edition of yet another insightful InvestNest webinar from Kalkine. If you do want to keep up to date with what we're doing, we do have a live broadcast product running from 9 to 5. That's Kalkine TV. And for all extra information, you can just head across to our website, kalkinemedia.com. Right, well, that is all done and dusted. Hope you enjoyed the webinar. I'm James Preston, and I'll catch you next time.